Hi guys, the DIY CNC woodworker here with you again. Well, I think I may have finally had some success with my PHOTOVCARVE. I received an email from a YouTube friend, I guess I could call him. My last video, I had, of course, put the request out. If you know something, call me or send me an email or something, and he did. He contacted me, and he sent me an email with several clips in it, which were screenshots of his setup. So I went through on my computer and set up everything the same as his setups were. Now the only thing I did differently, he used a 1/16 inch bit ball nose, which of all my bits I have, none of them are ball nose. They're all end mill bits with flat end mills and are V-bits. So I used my 60-degree V-bit as I've used before. And I've had numerous people tell me, from Vector on down to other folks, that this is what you need to do, is use a V-bit. So I went ahead and used my V-bit that I've been using before. Now what I've done different is under the carving, as I told you before, I thought the problem was going to be either something to do with the carving depth and the line spacing and all that, which it turned out to be. Under my carving depth, I went to 0.1. That's what he used, 0.1 inch. I use all inches. All my references will be in inches. I don't do this millimeter thing. I never have. I'm almost 71 years old, and I've never used a millimeter for anything in my life. So use the imperial system, and that's all I use. So all my references, I reference some distance or something, it will be in inches, or the imperial system. And on line spacing, we went to 7%. That's what he had on his screenshots. The line angle, and this is something that I've been using, 22.5, 30, 45. He used 315 degree line angle, which I would have never thought of that. And I just wouldn't have thought of that. And the contrast is at 0%. And rapid clearance gap is 0.1. And also used on the fill here, he used the oak medium that I'm using. I'm using red oak. He used for fill white. Now I've always been using black for my fill. I don't know why, I've just been using it. He used white, so I used white. His rapid rate was 100 inches per minute. The scale he had at 2.7. Not 1 or 2 like so many things I've seen, but 2.7, so that's what I used. And of course I used my X-Carve inch G-code, and I saved the toolpath. Now, I don't know, let me kind of move this around a little bit here instead of using my zoom. I guess I could use my zoom. You can see that that's the replication it came up with in PHOTOVCARVE. Looks a little different than it did with the black background. So I went ahead and started carving. Now, another thing I noticed that was different, and I don't know why this is, but before all my carving, even though I'm using a lower right 0 on this thing, they've all started on the, lower left, my other right change, my lower left 0. All the carvings have started on the lower right and went up from lower right to upper left. Well, this one started on the lower left, which threw me for a loop, because when it started cutting, I go, whoa, what's going on? And then I noticed, well, it was doing the same thing, but it was going from lower left to upper right, and that's the way it cut. And I don't know how this is going to play out. We'll try to move around to see the face in there. You can see, I can see the face a whole lot better in the viewfinder than I can in the wood. But there's the face, the photo that came out of that. Now I haven't done anything. This is straight off the carving. I can just remember which way to turn this thing backwards. Everything's backwards here. But you can see her face there in the carving. Came out pretty nice. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this out into the garage now and take this out into the garage and spray it. I'm not going to use the dark stain that I've been using. I'm going to go ahead and try to just spray it with polyurethane. Use some gloss polyurethane that I got and spray that and see what that does for it. But this is the first one of all of them I've done. Looks almost like the photo. I'm really encouraged. So it's just a matter of me continuing learning from these inputs that I've got. Let me see if I can pull up his email real quick. Okay, now that I've got his email up, and I hope, Tony, you don't mind me using your name here, but well, I won't use your last name. A gentleman named Tony sent me an email. He says, "My name's Tony and I've seen your message on Vectric Forum. I've been doing PHOTOVCARVE for a few years now, so maybe I can help you." And it goes on and what to look at. And he sent me these series of clips. When I first looked at them, I didn't realize what they were, but then I realized, oh, those are just screenshots of PHOTOVCARVE, showing his different setups for setting material size, setting cutting parameters, and preview and save toolpath. It was a series of screenshots of all that. Once I figured that out, because it would come up in this Photoshop, which I've never used before. I've got a trial version of it, but I haven't had time to sit down and really look at it to use it. So I'm trying to figure out how do I do this, you know. But I was able to muddle through it and see his screenshots, and I went and used his screenshots to set this up. And of course, this is the results of first almost photo quality carving. So again, I'm going to pause this. We're going to go out and spray this with some polyurethane and see what happens, and I'll be back with you shortly. Okay, I'm back. I got such an absent-minded mind here. I don't know if I told you, but this carving took just under 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 26 minutes to do this. My other carvings are running 15 and 18 minutes, but I don't know why. I used a higher speed, 100 inch per second. I've been using 50 inch per second, so I don't know what the difference was. But anyhow, I sprayed some polyurethane on it and made a little bit of a difference, but that still isn't really photo quality, because you got to hold this thing at just the right angle to even see the face in it. Though this did carve a whole lot better than anything I've carved before. I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet. So I think the next thing I need to do is look at investing in me some small, round-nosed bits. Like I said, all my bits are flat milling bits, flat end milling bits. And I got the V bits, and I could try my smaller V bit maybe. I don't know if that'd make any difference, but I think what I'm going to do is get online tonight, Amazon Prime, and order me some round nose bits, 2-day delivery, and see what happens with that. So for the time being, this is it for now. We are making some progress. Like Tony said in his letter here, it's a learning process. You just got to play around with it. I'll play much more, I'm going to be wore slap out. We'll get there eventually. We'll get there. I still haven't figured out how these pictures come out so just distinctively what they're carving. I mean, yeah, I can hold this board at a certain angle and I can see the wife's photo in there. But again, it's not anything I'd call a photo quality carving. I'm far from it. So we'll keep trying. Tony responded to my request, and he didn't have to be the only one. I'm sure there's other guys out there with quality suggestions. If you have some of those, I'm willing to listen to them and to entertain them. So all help is appreciated, I guess is what I'm trying to say. This PHOTOVCARVE, you go online and you look at it and they make it sound like it's so easy and so simple and it's anything but. But we'll get there sooner or later. I mean, you keep trying, sooner or later you got to be successful. So with that being said, I'm going to call it an evening. This is the CNC Woodworker. We'll speak to you again soon. Good day.